Max, how have you handled kind of being a heralded freshman coming into this program this year and being counted on for scores right off the bat?
I think when I was recruited, it was kind of the role that I knew I was going to be placed into, and kind of embraced that, or tried to a little bit. But more than anything, just kind of knowing that I have 4 other guys behind me that are always going to be there for me, and it's kind of taken a lot of pressure off me when I know my teammates are behind me in situations like that on the course.
Does the wind blow in Washington the way it does in the Midwest?
It does not. We're protected by the Rocky Mountains in Washington, but coming here, and especially this past week, trying to prepare for this home tournament, it's been a new little challenge. But it's good. It's something I'm not used to, but something that'll help me in the future for sure.
This comes right before the Big Ten tournament, so you just kind of, now it's time to start stacking them, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Hitting your standard every day. That's kind of what Coach talks about and preaches, and I think it's important for all of us in this program, playing or not, is to kind of hold everybody accountable and be ready to go when the postseason comes around.
Where's your game right now? What's the strength in your mind?
It's trending. I heard Jackson talk about it earlier, but like focusing on the things that you're good at and taking confidence from that, it's important. And right now, just kind of reining in the little details, short game and everything like that, and kind of leaning on my long game, which is what I've done all season.
What's it been like watching this team come together over the course of the fall and spring seasons?
I think obviously starting off the season hot in Washington and Sahali, we kind of didn't know who we were. And that start was obviously awesome for us as a program and as a team, and gained a lot of confidence. But we've had a lot of peaks and valleys this year, kind of not similar to the team last year. But I think that's kind of, we've embraced that a little bit, just knowing that nothing is guaranteed. And it's been important for us to kind of have the mindset of just kind of bringing any challenge on and being ready for the next opportunity whenever that may come.
I guess with a win at Oregon, then top 4 finish at Augusta, do you feel like you're hitting a level that you need to be at this time of year?
Yeah, we're definitely trending in the right direction. I think that's what Coach Schmall's so good at, is getting his teams ready for the postseason. I think it's really important for us to kind of come in every day and put the work in and make sure that kind of when we get to the postseason that we can just kind of let loose and not have to worry and play free.
What does he do so well that maybe has his teams ready in April, May, June?
I think it's actually really interesting. He just kind of lets us do our own thing. Believe it or not, it's like this time of year we've been practicing for 7 months on campus. He's like he knows that we know what we need to work on, and he's obviously here for support. But he just lets us play and be players, and he's a player himself, so he knows what it takes to win.
Jackson used the term "turn your brain off." Does that work for you too, coming into a big tournament or at a big event, that you just kind of want to go out there and just kind of go play?
I think so. I think we put in all the work here on campus. So when you travel somewhere, you just gotta play with what you got. You're not trying to find it. Turning your brain off and just using your talents that you're given. I think it's important. Not trying to overthink any situation.
You got a home match of sorts that in the fall to go back to Washington. What do you think it's going to be like to play a home match here?
It's going to be a little different. Obviously, having friends and family out in Washington was awesome. But now having kind of Illini fans out here, I think I've said it to multiple people. I actually had said it to a coach last week in Augusta. He mentioned our fan base, and I think it's most definitely the strongest fan base in college golf. And I think it's important for us to kind of lean on that this weekend. It's going to be fun to see everybody out there. Hopefully the weather cooperates.
Hopefully it's better than last year. The guys have probably told you about how it was last year.
I heard they played in the blizzard last year. I feel like it's like the fish. It just keeps getting worse and worse every time I hear about last year's tournament.
I guess, just how would you maybe describe your personal growth during your first year here?
I think most of my growth has come physically, in the weight room, first of all, but then also just kind of, there's a lot of physical growth that has come just kind of with my game and kind of honing it in. I felt like when I came in as a freshman, I was somewhat strong mentally, and I leaned on that a little bit in the fall. But then mentally learning new things about myself, kind of how to dig a little deeper and how to fight adversity when I'm out playing. I think Coach Schmall's really great at that. And it's helped, I think we talk about it a lot as a program. We're closers. And kind of the trend this spring is kind of the last 6 holes of my tournaments have been a lot better. And I think I'm trying to take pride in that at least.
Jackson talked a lot about toughness and how it's defines college golf sometimes. What have you taken from that in your first year?
I think that's what we're kind of all about. I mean, I was in the car with Jackson yesterday, and we were talking about the wind, like you mentioned, and it's like as a program, that's what we love it. We want to bring in any challenge, like the win yesterday for practice. Toughness it's kind of what we're known for, and that's kind of what we embrace. And being mentally tougher, physically tougher than our opponents, that's kind of what we do. That's what we are as a program.
You've played in some pretty big amateur events, USGA events. How do you prepare for what is now college golf your first college golf postseason?
I mean, I think it's almost easier in a sense because you have other guys that are trying to hold you accountable. It's easy in junior golf, especially. It's really easy to go through the motions when you're practicing and preparing. But now I have 8 other guys that are holding me accountable in everything I do on a daily basis. So I think it's almost easier, but it's important, like Jackson said, to turn your brain off and kind of just make sure let your talent show and not have to worry about anything else extra.